We are here at the Film Thread Award, this 2021 award show on the red carpet. We're going to talk to a lot of great people here tonight.
That's right. Joe Compton was in person on the red carpet over at the Flight Mess Hall in Tustin, California. He shortly thereafter attended the award ceremony at the pop-up drive-in on the adjacent rooftop. An award ceremony that featured 93 independent films, over 20 categories, some of them quite unique and interesting. And during this show, we will share with you who is up for what and what those categories are. We want to thank Chris Gore and Annie Jeeves for inviting us here to cover and celebrate with them this great event. And trust us when we tell you, there will be no spoilers here. You're going to have to wait. We assure you there is still plenty to talk about, and we've got a great group to talk with here at the 2021 Film Threat Award This Indie Movie Awards. We're real excited to be here. Thank you for joining us.
In a world where every award show is a fucking Zoom call, comes Award This. From your pals at Film Threat comes a celebration of true independent film. In fact, I'll be there as your announcer, wearing a hazmat suit and inside a giant Bacta tank. And prepare for a virtual award show unlike any other ever in the history of mankind. Or awards kind. Award This 2021. It's happening, whether you like it or not.
You didn't give me away.
Red Desert. Transports are to your right. Good luck, soldier.
Why am I the only person that can see you?
Maybe it's because I can see you.
What if I could be more? What if I could be great? All I need is a chance to prove myself.
Systematical fact, systematically that, for the last 400 years, there have only been 60 years that it hasn't been legal or politically correct to beat or destroy a person who is brown or black.
You're going to do a poetry-based short film. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, thanks, man.
So
I'm grateful you watched it.
Talk a little bit about the idea behind it and why you felt like this was the way to convey this film.
Sure. So I will say this. So I've been a spoken word poet for many, many years, and I've been producing spoken word films for 15 years. And so I created this art form that I call Spinema, and that's SPINEMA, Spinema, spinning cinema through spoken word. So I have a library of socially conscious films that are experimental, that are told entirely in spoken word. And this particular one, called Wade in the Water, which was inspired by the old Negro spiritual, is something that I wanted to evoke in poetry for a really, really long time.
Nice, awesome. So, what does it mean to be recognized? Short films are typically the stepchild of the film industry.
Sure.
So what does it mean to be recognized and to have this opportunity to actually be part of an award show?
Well, I think it's incredible, and I mean, and God bless Film Threat magazine, you know, and shout out to Chris Gore and Alan, you know, and because I didn't even realize that I was even in contention. I just got the email and I was like, holy shit, that's great, you know. And I'm in post on my 5th feature, so I've been producing for I've been producing for a really, really long time. But this was a golden child of mine, and for it to be recognized for its social commentary, but also for its cinematic value. You know, this is my most ambitious poetry film in my career. And so I'm just very humbled. I'm really, really humbled. And, you know, and shout out to Film Threat magazine for putting this together under these circumstances.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And thank you for being here.
Oh, I appreciate it.
No,
that's a thrill for me. What do you love about indie film?
I love the spirit of being able to craft your own canvas and not having to be ruled by the powers above you that are dictating what they want you to do, right? See, as an actor, when I work on TV shows, I know my lines, I hit my marks, and I shut them up. But when I produce my own film, I get to produce my own canvases, and I get to tell my own stories, which is why you're seeing Wade in the Water, which is a poetic, experimental film, you know, about the fear of being black in America.
Nice, awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
luck tonight, and Have fun.
I appreciate it.
All right, tell everybody what film you're here representing and what's it about.
Yeah, I'm here representing Single. I'm the writer-director, and it's about dating and disability. It's a girl who is born with one arm, gets set up on a blind date with a guy who has one hand, and she's very pissed about it.
Talk about in creating a film like this that has kind of this relationship idea behind it. It's really about the initial connection of a relationship, but it has the element of disability in it as well, and that's how we're clamoring for own voice films like this and doing films like this. So what was your mindset in trying to create both of those dynamics and keep that together?
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to have a character study that was exploring internalized ableism and someone who's actually against themselves, and so they're rejecting someone else because they are not comfortable with who they are. So that's kind of what I wanted to explore, and then you get to see two different sides of what it's like having a disability with someone who's very comfortable with themselves and then someone who's not. So I liked showing those two perspectives, and they had such great chemistry that you kind of at the end of the film you're like, I wish they would just date because they should. So it was fun. It was fun to create a story that's complicated, and dating with a disability is.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did the actors bring to this? Because their performances. Tell everybody who the actors are first, and tell them what they brought to this that you didn't expect going into it.
Yeah. So the actors were Delaney Feener, who plays Kim, and Jordan Wisely, who plays Jake, and they just brought an authenticity. That's why I have a disability, and I'm a huge advocate of actually hiring disabled actors. So being more authentic brings something kind of magical to the screen, and you get a lot of improv that you never expected, and you say, okay, let's just roll on that because it's really funny and interesting. So you get something that you wouldn't if you would go with actors who are pretending to have a disability. Or when I was pitching this movie and this film in the AFI directing workshop for women, a lot of people were like, so are you going to use a green screen for the actor's arm? And are you going to make a hand? And I was like, no, I'm going to find people who have disabilities. And I was open where it didn't have to be one arm. It could be anything really, but I ended up, that's what we found, and they were great. Yeah.
Awesome.
What
do you love about indie film?
I love kind of the guerrilla, scrappy nature, and everyone's just down to make it happen and stay late and just put everything into it. So I love the collaborative community feeling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's so awesome to see short films recognized here, and your film especially, which was really great. I really enjoyed it. So enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, thanks, you too. Bye.
Tell everybody a little bit about the film that you're here representing.
At the End of the World, it's a romance, apocalyptic romance. A lonely government worker has to find faith in the end of the world, and she meets a lonely soldier, and together they find a reason to go on.
Nice. This is an interesting film in that the visual elements take hold more than the dialogue does. And for young filmmakers out there, talk about a little bit about how important you feel like, and how revolutionary visual can be in terms of telling a story.
I feel like every element of a film is important. And every element of the film is part of the storytelling. So I think what we tried to do with this movie, from the makeup department to the costume department to the scenery and production design, all of it moved the story forward and conveyed whatever mood you were supposed to be feeling as an audience. So I think for upcoming filmmakers, I think it's just really important not to get lost on trying to do things because it's just cool, but actually do things because it moves the story forward or makes the audience feel what you want them to feel with the story.
For anybody who doesn't know, this man has created some of the greatest visual effects in some of the greatest movies you've ever seen. So, yes.
Thank you.
What do you guys love about indie film?
Oh man, I like.
Go
ahead.
I'm sorry. I just love it. Anyone can do it. We have so many opportunities now that anyone can do it, and it can be very personal, and it doesn't have to have a big budget, but it can be really meaningful.
Nice.
Exactly. Just exactly what Suzy said. Anyone could do it. If you have a camera, when I get to filmmaking, just write your story, go out there with your iPhone, and just do it. Just film it.
Nice.
Yeah, the democratization of filmmaking has probably been one of the greatest things that have happened in the last decade or so. And I think my favorite thing about independent filmmaking is, just the idea that you're free to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So if you're working for a company, and I do work for a lot of companies, you do incredible work, but it's never an expression of your own feelings or ideas or creativity to the level that you can do if you're doing independent films. So
it's nice that a short film gets recognized in this fashion, right? That you guys get an award show and then you guys get an opportunity to tell people about this film, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a great art form, and it's very specific, and it's just as hard or easy as a feature, I think.
Yeah, right on. Well, congratulations, guys. Good luck, and thank you. Have a good time, all right?
Thank you so much.
You are a piece of meat. The knife is in their hand. They can kill you anytime.
I mean, the manipulation of the data and the push for low fat really got us in trouble.
Everything good that has happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. It highlighted the issue of why would you ever want to defend the rights of people like that?
It's really about being on a journey together to connect the dots of their lives that led to a crime.
I didn't want to live in a world where we saw our son disappear.
And we're going to travel across the country in order to acquire medicine in the form of cannabis oil.
Tell everybody a little bit about the film and what you're here representing.
Sure. So our film is called The Prison Within. It follows a group of men and survivors inside San Quentin prison. But it's really a film about compassion and forgiveness and truth and reconciliation within ourselves and within our culture.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful message. Yes, it's a documentary. Yes. And we're here for the best socially relevant documentary nomination.
What a great category, right?
Yeah.
What does it mean for you guys to be recognized in this fashion at an award show like this?
Oh, I mean, this film was like 6 years in the making. And so, we put a lot of our heart, a lot of ourselves into it. So recognition, goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The film has been winning a lot of awards throughout the year, and we love it.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is it about indie film that you love?
Oh, the creativity, the tenacity. What you're really forced to do, the decisions that you have to make when, you have a smaller budget. You have a smaller budget. I actually think it allows for more creativity.
It's nice. And is it available anywhere right now, or are you guys working on getting that out there, or?
Oh yeah, it's available on all the VOD platforms.
Oh, nice.
And
awesome.
some Comcast, Xfinity, and some other cable platforms as well.
Nice. So everybody go check out The Prison Within.
Yes,
sure.
please.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Every single person has an Everest of their own, whatever that may be. That's what it's all about.
I feel your frustration. 60 years in a slump.
Carson Wentz threw 2 touchdowns. The Eagles beat Washington.
He's never going to stop being a wrestler because that's who he is. But it's just a matter of time until he gets hurt badly, and that's something that I'm not ready for.
Activision called me and said, we are working on a game, we'd like you to come see what we're doing. As soon as I played it and I felt just some of the controls, I knew that was the game.
I thought you do action movies and you get to have all the fun, and then I realized, no, Debbie has all the fun.
I hated losing, so winning was the only option. We never give up. No matter if we face the wall, we find a way to break through that wall.
Well, welcome. Tell everybody a little bit about the film that you guys are here representing.
Okay, so it's Pretending I'm a Superman, the Tony Hawk video game story. It's basically the story of how skateboarding got to a place where a major corporation decided to invest some money in a video game, and that video game blew up, became a $1 billion franchise, and then kind of impacted the industry that skateboarding is today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, in a
great,
nutshell.
This is a great film. I've seen it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, fantastic. Tony Hawk is like a hero.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Talk about a little bit about your journey to this point. How long it took you to get to here, and and what you went through, something that maybe people don't realize about filmmaking.
It was about a 3-year process to get it all done. It was our first film. Ludwig Gür is the director, and it was his kind of first feature-length documentary. So it was a lot of trial and error along the way. And I think the most important thing is just kind of sticking to your guns that you're going to finish this thing no matter what. And mistakes are really just learning opportunities, and just kind of keep on moving forward and just keep it going, and having a wife that supports you in that endeavor. She's an elementary school teacher, a kindergarten teacher, so having her there to support you is an awesome thing as well.
That's fantastic. What did you learn about skateboarding that you didn't know going into this? I've dabbled a little. I would never call myself a skateboarder, but I always skated as a kid. From a young age, it was just a separate form of transportation. But the thing that really got me is the passion behind being an actual skater. I would never consider myself a skater. It's just a life passion. It's like it's your entire life of what you're doing, and everything you do is you're bringing your board everywhere, and it's just sort of like a separate art form that these people just kind of take on, and it's more than a career, more than just hey, it's a pastime. It's their entire life. It's kind of
they're very passionate.
Completely passionate about what they do.
And where can people see the film?
It's it's pretty much on all the streaming platforms. Go to our website, thpsfilm.com.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, we're on Amazon, all over the place. You can check us out.
Right on. What do you love about indie film?
Just the opportunity to be able to get in there with the bigger guys and do something and show an impact where you might not have thought that it could have been possible. I didn't know it was possible, and then we just started doing it, and just one thing led to another, and sort of the stars aligned. And now we're we're streaming on Amazon, and iTunes, which is amazing. It's awesome. So
well, congratulations on your nomination tonight.
Thank you.
Good luck and enjoy.
Thank you very much.
So tell everybody about both films. Tell everybody what they are.
I have 2 films here, 3 nominations, so I'm very excited to be here. The first one is Stuntwomen. Let me get my hair on my face. My first one is Stuntwomen, the Untold Hollywood Story, which is up for Best Sports Documentary, and I'm also up for Directress with that film. And also in the Best Indie Doc is my other documentary called Going Attractions, the definitive story of the movie Palace.
Nice. What did you learn about Stuntwomen that you didn't know going into this?
Oh my gosh, well, they're amazing, by the way, and it was a really fun film to shoot because not that often in a documentary do you get to shoot an actual drift car chase sequence with Michelle Rodriguez in the car and working with some of the best drivers in the business. So I was really spoiled a little bit shooting that documentary. But I think the thing, people think stunt people are daredevils or, they're risk takers and that type of thing. And not that I didn't think they were smart, but just the fact of how they're analyzing every stunt and breaking down everything that could possibly go wrong and working all that out in their minds is really incredible. So just the level of intelligence and physics and whatever it is that's going on in their brains to figure out all the possibilities and how to land and make it look good is pretty cool talent.
What's your thought on having a separate category for women directors in film? Do you think that's a good thing to recognize, but that it needs to be a step in a direction?
Yeah, a lot of people I know were like, that's very weird. I think on the plus side, I think it's nice because it opens the category up to a lot more spots, so it gives a lot more opportunity for people to be recognized. So that part of it I really like, but separating men and women as directors, I don't like that because I think that we do the job the same and we direct the same types of things usually and can in the future. So separating that out I don't really like, but I do like the idea of giving more opportunity to more directors to be recognized.
Nice. So what do you love about indie film?
Well, I've just been around indie film the whole time I've been in the business. Not that I don't want to do big films and studio films, and hopefully I will one day. But when I got into this career, I started working for the Independent Spirit Awards, and I worked there. I was involved in that for over a decade. And I also do programming for the Sundance Film Festival for over 16 years. So indie film is my love. And even before I got into filmmaking,
I went and saw every film, including every indie film, and paid attention to people's careers. So it's something that is very close to me that I will always, watch and love. Nice. And most of the big filmmakers now that are doing Marvel films and things like that, they all came out of indie film. Every single one of them, that I can think of right now. So I think it's great.
Did you miss Park City this year? I found I missed Park City this year, which was surprising to me.
Yeah.
I've been covering Slam Dance for 4 years, and it was great to do what we did this year, but it's still, I missed that element of being there.
I think so, and film festivals in general. I've participated in a lot of them online over the past year.
Yeah.
And Sundance in particular is always kind of a mile marker. I always say it kind of refreshes me on the business, like it's a reset.
Yeah.
And just the networking of it is a piece that you can't replicate as well online. The people that you run into on Main Street, or so it was a little strange for me. I'm sure some point will come where I don't go there anymore, but I have been going there for 15 years, so missing it was weird. But at least everyone else was missing it too.
Well,
so
hopefully we'll see each other next year there, and congratulations.
Well, thank you, and I'm so glad for Chris and Film Threat for putting this on and recognizing these truly independent films. So I'm very excited for all the nominees and everything tonight.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you ever just want to scream? Like, at the top of your lungs.
He robs the young of their voice. You'll never escape the millennial killer.
See the final girl, huh? It's cool.
Every corpse tells a story. It is our task to listen.
So these are all stories about how people died.
Let's begin.
Hello?
Awesome. Tell everybody about your film. What are you here representing?
Well, we are here representing To Your Last Death. It's an animated horror film. In fact, it's the first U.S.-produced 2D hand-drawn animated horror film. And it stars...
As far as we know.
As far as we know. It stars William Shatner, Morena Baccarin, Ray Wise, and Bill Moseley. And we're very proud of it.
Right on. What did you learn about this process that you didn't know going in?
Oh my God, animation is a lot of trouble. I mean, basically, okay, so honestly, if we would have known what we're getting ourselves into, we may have thought twice about it.
Yeah, naivete was probably our biggest ally
it's an
on
asset.
this film. Had we known it would take us over 5 years, and the mission creep that just keeps
So
going
honestly,
on.
we when we started, we're like, oh yeah, 8 months, and eventually we had people on literally in over 30 countries working on this film on 5 continents, because we kind of had to build our own animation studio from the ground up, virtually, so to speak. So we had artists in Italy, animators in India. I mean, it was wow.
It wouldn't have been so bad if we had been well financed. But when you're
Yeah,
bootstrapping everying, it tends
Yeah.
to take. I mean, we still have posters saying coming 2017. It was actually 2020.
Yeah,
When did William Shatner jump on board? Was it early on?
Yes, it was. It was in 2016, right?
Yeah.
2016, yeah.
Awesome. So what do you guys love about indie film?
What we love about indie film is because you actually have a lot more creative freedom. I mean, not anything else. You don't have the creative freedom, but you have the money. That's also nice. I'm not complaining about that, but you have more creative freedom if it's an indie film. Of course, you have to bootstrap it.
Yeah, and we're all about indies and writers seizing the reins. Workers control the means of production.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
that's us.
Yes, so we have a company called Coverage Inc. We're screenplay analysts, and we tell our writers it's kind of what we preach. Just like, don't wait for someone to come around and give you money. Just will will it into existence.
Yeah.
You know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great philosophy.
Yeah.
So is it available for people to go check out right
Yes,
now?
it's on Amazon Prime, it's on Vudu, Spectrum, Comcast, Tubi, you know, all of the usual
And
suspects.
Blu-ray.
And Blu-ray, yes.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a
You
lot.
too.
It's nice to meet
Thanks.
you.
Hi, Joe. How
Hi.
are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Great, great.
So tell everybody the film they're here representing and what it's about.
So our film is called The Mortuary Collection. It is a old school horror anthology film, so it's sort of a little bit of a grab bag of horror, fun, weird, creepy throwback to kind of the 80s and the creep show and the Twilight Zone and all the amazing things that we grew up with.
Was this the intention, was to make kind of an anthology film, or was it kind of you guys were all making films and you kind of put it together kind of thing?
No. I just really love short form horror, and I feel like there's not a great venue for it, especially nowadays. And so, unless you go to film festivals, unless you seek them out online, it's hard to find these films. So I was like, well, maybe I can find a way to tell these short stories, but sort of deliver them in a package that a general audience can sort of is used to and can kind of sort of like warm them up to the idea of it.
Nice. So what do you love about indie film?
I think it's just where everything that's special is happening nowadays. I mean, it's the freedom, and I think the freedom nowadays where, it feels like almost anybody can make a film. I mean, you literally can with your cell phone. I think having the freedom to really express yourself and to do something that's specifically you is kind of what you need to do to stand out in the crowd. And I think that it's something that's pretty exclusive to indie film, especially nowadays, and something I hope to continue to do for a long time.
Nice. You like the way that horror is evolving, or do you think this throwback to kind of the 80s is a welcome change?
I love the way that horror is evolving. I love that it's become a prestige genre all of a sudden. It went from being sort of like a nasty thing whispered in the darkness to like something that gets nominated for awards.
Or the thing you shoot to make money real fast, right?
Exactly, and I don't see it that way. I think it's actually the most cinematic of genres, and it's something that I deeply love, and I hope to continue to be a part of for a long time. And if these prestige movies can bring the genre to more audiences and can sort of allow me to do my thing, I'm all for it. I love it.
Well, congratulations, and
Thank
good
you.
luck to you tonight, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's a weird introduction into the professional world of filmmaking because it was such a carny atmosphere, and it's what we freaking loved about it.
They've got this game, Mortal Kombat, and you can kill people.
Yeah, isn't that really cool?
The Subgenius was a club. It was a badge.
You may think it's funny. We hope you do. We are trying to deliver medicine of a sort.
It is truly the last standing bastion of a bygone era.
We were the anti-Disney. We were the anti-Saturday Morning.
We wanted less acting, and we wanted more normal kids.
Larry Lang, he makes the world's greatest onion rings.
This was the first idea I had. I was going to make a movie about these onion rings.
So talk about your film. Tell everybody a little bit about the film you made.
So we explored the very last Blockbuster. Before it was the last one, there were still 12 left when we started talking to the manager and realizing that there was a chance this was going to be the last one on Earth.
Unbelievable.
And we set out to make a film that would tap into people's nostalgia and make people smile. I think we pulled it off.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. What do you love about indie film?
People being able to share their voice.
Nice.
Unfiltered.
That's awesome.
I think that's an important thing.
Well, congratulations on this accomplishment. I'm sure it's been a long journey. How long has it been since you actually made the film? Obviously, the last Blockbuster, there's a time limit there.
Yeah, it's we've been working on it for 4 years today.
Jeez, man! Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
awesome. Well, good luck, and I hope you enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. You too.
Oh, hey. Independent Spirit Awards, huh? Hey, award this! Watch Award This on Sunday, April 18th at awardthis.com.
I'm Loren. I'm actually the new host of the Film Threat Watch Parties.
Oh, nice.
On Friday nights. So I get to host these after-show watch parties, which are a lot of fun.
Yeah. What's been your favorite so far?
Well, I can't play favorites,
come on.
even if I wasn't presenting, but having conversations with really amazing filmmakers and actors. And also I find that a lot of the people that watch the show live love asking questions about behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I love the most is asking the questions that the fans want to know.
Nice. With these Q&As, they get a little tricky sometimes. Zoom is not always the best friend of everybody. Talk about a little bit about what went behind the idea of putting this together for you guys at Film Threat.
Well, luckily for me, Chris did all the work. But I've known Chris for years and years. He's always known me as a host. And I was doing after shows for AfterBuzz TV.
Nice.
So he liked what I did, invited me to come co-host a couple times with him and Alan. And then he said, here,
this is
I
your
want
baby.
you have it. I want my Friday nights back. And Loren, you look like a Friday night shut-in, like it's normal. So
Nice. Well, everybody, go check that out on Film Threat. It is this awesome thing. I've been there. It's pretty cool. I enjoy it. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
#LunchBag is a nonprofit organization that started throwing these parties with a purpose, feeding the homeless, and really just kind of like bringing people together.
I was overwhelmed at the beginning. I think the county as a whole, the state, everybody is overwhelmed by all of the needs that arise out of a situation like this.
Well, the first thing I noticed when the fires happened were that all the restaurants kind of turned into relief hubs.
We're not a big community, so everyone tends to know each other, and we'll do what we can to help each other.
So the ability for nonprofit agencies to come in with their resources, not only funding resources, but their staff resources as well, to provide additional support and assistance is huge. We would not be able to provide the level of service that we're providing and the level of support that we're providing if it weren't for agencies like #LunchBag.
Making people smile. They come for water. They're already suffering. They're trying to clean up what they have, find what's left in their homes, if anything. And then to offer them a meal, it gets me clutched, I get a little teary-eyed.
We're a family of 5, so cooking is really essential in our family. So to have this offered is really a blessing, and I really appreciate it.
Got the opportunity to work with some donors and be able to provide not only just free meals, but pay restaurants and give them financial stability and helping them out, being able to take those meals and give them back to the community.
First thing I have to think about is people that helped me get to where I am and now are struggling with their business.
Many of us lost anywhere from 70 to 100% of the revenue that was coming into because everything got canceled.
It's just sometimes you're like, oh my God, am I going to make it this month? But just having this huge kitchen helped us pay our staff. It just helped us feel a little comfortable, pay our bills and everything, It made it a little bit easier, that's for sure.
It wasn't just about purchasing a meal from the restaurant, but it was also helping out the staff, the kitchen workers, but then going even farther down to the farmers that have been affected by the fire.
So a lot of the ingredients that are actually going into these meals are grown within a few miles from where we are.
With the resources you give restaurants, especially during COVID times, that's so beneficial. You can help out your restaurant, your employees, the farms that you're working with, pull a lot more of the community together.
None of us has seen that much money in a long time coming in. The people on the ground, the on-site managers, the people that are here every day working with the fire survivors are the true rock stars.
We're really grateful, for what you guys have brought to us and the way you've organized it.
Food is a love language, and that's what we grow up in comforting. That's why everyone thinks about their mother's home-cooked meals. Food is a perfect community binder. And by you guys doing this, it's just another glue to keep our community tighter than it already is.
He invited us to go to San Diego. Comic-Con? You said that Marvel movies give you anxiety. Not the ones with Chris Hemsworth.
I like the idea of having kids, just not the idea of having kids.
You gotta sleep with them as quickly as possible. What's your name, anyway? Or they do something that completely ruins it, and you're not attracted to them anymore.
Do you want to get out of here?
Like, leave the Olympic Village?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lisa. You want to hang out tomorrow night?
I'd love to.
Maybe someone will come around that can help you out a little.
There's another woman in the picture.
She needs me. We all need each other.
So tell everybody about the film. Obviously, they're going to recognize this gentleman here because we've talked before.
Joe. Good to see you,
You
Joe.
too. But tell everybody about the film that you're here representing.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You guys got multiple awards.
Thank you so much.
Multiple categories.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're happy to be representing Rent-A-Pal, and it stars Brian Landis-Folkens and Will Wheaton and also Amy Rutledge. You're right here next to me now. And yeah, it's set in the 90s. It's about a tape that you can rent that is a friend that you can bring home, just like this one. But things obviously don't go as well as you'd hope. So
right.
Yeah.
This is a fascinating film. Obviously, I've seen it, I know about it, and I've spoken to this man before about it. But talk a little bit about your journey in getting this made and putting this together.
Man, like every indie film, it's such a struggle getting a movie going. But it was just one of those films where everything came together kind of serendipitously, and we self-funded it. We shot it in Colorado, and just to get a film finished, let alone distributed and now nominated for awards, is incredible. So it's really exciting.
And for Ms. Rutledge here, everybody, Amy Rutledge, she's absolutely the scene stealer of the movie.
Thank you.
One of my favorite performances of last year. Congratulations on all your success. Talk a little bit about the transformation you made in this film.
Yeah, I felt very connected to Lisa quickly. Even through the audition process, I just felt like she was me. Like I just resonated with her so fully, and it was kind of easy sort of to crawl into her shoes. She's such a beautiful, loving, kind person, and it was just such a wonderful journey. I'm just so grateful and just so honored that I got to bring her to life.
Nice.
Thanks to John.
And you guys are up for the big one, the movie of the year.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So, what do you all love about indie film?
I mean, it's the stories that I'm interested. It's the stories that I want to tell. It's the stories that I want to watch. And, get to make the movie a movie on your terms. It's a little more grassroots. It's not so razzle-dazzle. I think it's got more heart, more soul. I would make indies my entire career if that was up to me. So, yeah.
And you get to pick who you're working with. We just got to basically get all our friends together and make a film. The DP of the film was like my film school teacher, and production designer was like my best friend from day one of film school. So it's just really cool getting everyone together and making a movie.
Congratulations.
Thanks, yeah.
How about for you, Amy? What do you love about it?
Yeah, just the people, I think, the connections that you get to meet, that sense of community and just love, and everyone shows up and is just so excited to be there. It's relaxed, it's chill, it's a great feel. Yeah. And I agree with the stories that I want to tell are always the indies, or always the indie stories.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I would love to sit here and talk to you all night because I happen to know this gentleman pretty well. But we'll get together at some point. I have a confidence that we'll find each other again. All right.
so
Take
much.
care, guys. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. Tell everybody about the film you made and what you're here representing.
So I made a movie called Limerence. I wrote it, I directed it, I starred in it, and then I took a nap. This is my fantastic husband, Wes, who is an actor in my movie. He plays Shamrock.
Nice.
Which he's unrecognizable in this movie.
What do you mean?
He's a giant beard and a shaved head. He really loves me because he did all of that. But it's a movie we made, and it came out at the beginning of last year, and it's been a joy to work on. It was my first film directing, so
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell everybody a little bit about the film.
Well, thank you. He's my handler. It's a film about relationships. The word limerence is basically like the honeymoon stage when you're first falling in love with someone and you're obsessed with them and you can't stop thinking about them. And then what happens? That's what my movie's about.
That's awesome. It's a multiple nominee tonight.
Which is so exciting. I mean, it was very surprising and awesome. I mean, what a dream.
Talk about the journey to get here. What was that like?
It was long. The film started actually as a play, so I wrote a play, and the producer Brad Zions was in our audience the second night, and he said, "I think we should make this into a movie." We met, and we just collaborated. I adapted it, and we went into fundraising and casting, and we finally filmed it. And it was finally done, and then we did film festivals, and it came out, and now we're here. So
nice.
Those are the cliff notes.
Nice. Is it available for people to see?
It is. It's on Amazon Prime for Prime members, and it's on most other platforms, iTunes, pretty much everywhere. So.
Nice. What do you love about indie film? I want both of you to answer this.
Oh, great. What do I love about indie film? I think that people take risks. I think people can create whatever they want, and I think it's often a place where people can really show an authentic side of themselves and make what they really want to make.
Nice.
You know, to keep it, I guess, more modern, you know, we are trapped in such a world where if you go to most multiplexes, there's a superhero movie, and I love a horror movie, but like a cheap horror movie, and something like that, just anything that they know are going to make money. And so when people actually get a chance, as Tammy said, make what they want to make and take a risk, do something strange, something interesting, something we haven't seen before, you're only going to get that in indie film, not in major films these days.
Are you going to act and direct in more stuff as at one time? Or was it something that you learned?
I'm threatening to.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm threatening to.
Please, we hope. That's good news for the rest of us.
I like doing both of those things.
Yeah,
so
nice.
I don't have to do them both all the time. There are certainly things that I would love to direct and not be in, and happy to act in and not direct. So it kind of depends on what it is. But I like doing both at the same time. It's a little bit, your brain has to be a little bit on fire while it's happening, but there are advantages to doing both at the same time.
Do you like that there's a separate category for female directors being recognized here tonight? Is that something
Sure. I mean, I think we're seeing, obviously we're seeing such a lot more female directors, which is really exciting. And
we need that perspective.
I think we need diversity across the board and all of this so that we can see lots of different kinds of cool things. So yeah, I think it's great.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Jack! He's gonna kill everyone.
30 years ago, Ethan started a zine that became an art movement.
Galaxy Quest really was one of the first films that celebrated the relationship that fans have with these kind of stories.
I felt I was in the middle of something just so awesome and fun and wonderful.
Everybody's naked, and they're touching each other.
They decided to allow nudity in movies.
It's a film that gets reclaimed as a stealth masterpiece.
So tell everybody what you're here representing the film.
Okay, so I'm here for Man in Camo. I'm the director, producer, editor, writer, animator, craft services, production designer, puppet master. I'm a one-man band for this particular film.
Talk about the journey in creating something like this and all the things that you've done so much in this film. So talk about all of the journey you got to get to this point and do this.
So they tell you never make a film about yourself or filmmaking, and I did both of those subjects in this film and about 1,000 other ones. I'm dyslexic, so the way I made this film is it's mapped out the way my brain works. Not necessarily the way I make all films, but this one. So it's like kind of jumping between categories, but it fills out into be a full story. And the only reason I made this film is that from the other films I've made, which is always kind of these documentaries about groups of artists working together, other filmmakers who are much bigger than me were always saying you need to be kind of the voice of those films, which I couldn't because I felt like we're a collective. My voice should never be any bigger than anyone else's.
Right.
So I kind of separated this film out as a separate entity where I can just go totally crazy on my ego with this. And the part I think is funny is when you screen the film and people are going to go like, you're a complete egomaniac, where the reality is, I mean, partially that's true, but not as much as it appears after you've watched the film, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Makes a lot of sense to me. I've seen it, so yes, I understand. Tell everybody a little bit about what you love about indie film.
I think like the biggest thing about indie film that I like, indie music, punk rock, whatever, it's all the same sort of, you know, theory of like trying to provide something new. So if I go watch a Hollywood film or a big budget film, pretty much from the trailer, I know the whole arc of the story and the conclusion of that film. It's rare that I'm ever surprised. And independent films, if you're doing it correctly, you're telling a story that's unique, it's challenging, and it should hopefully skew the person's view of the world when they leave. And if not that, at least you're telling them a unique, compelling story that they're not going to get anywhere else.
Yeah, nice. So, one last question. Tell everybody about the editing process for this film. Was it difficult for you to kind of discern what you thought was important versus yourself on the screen, seeing yourself in virtually every shot of this movie?
There's like, when you watch the film, there's a scene I put in there where it's like you see I'm wearing the suit, but I'm actually wearing boxer shorts below camera. So I wanted people to get like, I'm not always wearing the full suit. But I have a process with all my films is where I make like a rough cut, I make a link, I share that with filmmakers I trust, I take their feedback as hard and like, you know, critical as they want, like filmmakers I've worked with for years, and then I adjust the edit and then I show it to a new filmmaker. So regardless of whatever I'm making, by the time that process is played out, it's a very refined cut. And it's not just my opinion, I'm playing across many opinions of, you know, people who I value as filmmakers.
Multiple nominee tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Sure. All right. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Great.
So tell everybody about the film you're here representing and what it's about.
Well, my name is Graham Denman. I'm the director of a movie called Greenlight, and this is my producer, Rudy Scalise. The movie is about a young wannabe up-and-coming filmmaker who winds up essentially making the deal of a lifetime when he gets his first feature made only under the condition that he kills the lead actor in order to please the producer. So it's a weird like cat and mouse kind of genre thriller noir downward spiral character piece.
Multiple nominee tonight.
Yeah,
That's
3 award
exciting.
nominations. Pretty stoked.
Yeah. Hopefully you walk away with something, or you know, at least it's nice to be here, right?
Oh, absolutely. No,
nice to be on a red carpet, right? Yeah.
Well, I grew up with Film Threat. Film Threat magazine was one of the things that got me into movies when I was really young, especially like the indie scene. That's how I found out about Kevin Smith and a lot of other filmmakers at the time. So for me to have grown up and now made a movie and I'm at their award show, that's a really cool full circle thing. So yeah, very much happy to be here.
Making a movie about a movie has its stigma.
It does.
It has its idea.
But now it also has an award, apparently. You know, they've got awards for movies about making movies here, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, talk a little bit about how you felt in creating something that was a little bit more unique, but still had that idea of a film being made by a film, you know?
Well, a lot of it came from kind of a real life struggle. I mean, you know, I was PAing on sets for years and years and years trying to, you know, get my voice heard or get my stuff made, and nobody took me seriously, and eventually it came down to finally, you know, making a movie that was for a very small budget, but going, this is my shot, this is my chance, and we wanted to put all of that into the film because as much as I love the movie business, we all love the movie business, but we all are very aware there's a really shady side to it, and I think putting that into the film was just a really important piece to help it all kind of come together.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah.
So, tell everybody what you love about indie film. I want both of you to answer.
Sure, I'll let Rudy go
first.
first.
I'll let him go first.
Okay.
He's our filmmaker.
This is a who's on first. Okay. What do I love about indie film? I love that, you know, depending on the film, usually the restrictions are gone. You're not being overproduced by people who are trying to meet some sort of quota or some sort of audience. They are just in it for the project and in it for the art of what that movie is, depending on what the movie is. But for me, independent film is really important because it allows you to just be free of shackles and creatively stimulated through getting a bunch of people together to all go for the same vision and just go, look at what we made, as opposed to what are we trying to sell. You know, I think indie movies, as important as money is, when you make an indie film, money should not be where your head's at. It should just be about telling the story you think is important to share with everybody.
And I agree with him on that. For our indie movie and indie film in general, nobody's making a lot of money, but you can tell that everybody loves what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that family unit becomes so much more important in day-to-day production, that it's really solid, and that's what I love most about indie cinema.
Nice. Congratulations, guys.
so much.
Good luck, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
We shall.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
So tell everybody about the film you're here representing and what it's about.
The film I'm here representing is You Don't Know Me. It's a documentary about the complicated afterlife of showgirls.
Interesting.
Yep.
So, in creating a documentary, putting something like this together, talk about the journey it took you to get to this, from that point, from the very beginning to right now.
It started from the event with Cinespia. It was the 20th anniversary of Showgirls. Elizabeth Berkley showed up there and introduced the film, and after that I was kind of inspired to kind of dive deeper and learn a little bit more about the film and kind of understand my own kind of draw to it, you know, and it's confused, it's complex, you know, and I cut the film from my laptop on my kitchen table, reached out to everybody who had written, you know, wrote about the film, you know, done art, actors, artists, you know, drag queens, everything. So collected all their experiences and their views, and made a great film.
Nice, and you're here being nominated.
Yeah, it's awesome. It feels great.
What do you love about indie film?
Just the spirit of it, you know, just that you just like make it happen, you know, like the passion, you know. It like I said, like I cut it from my laptop on my kitchen table between, you know, changing diapers and my day job, and you know, I think that Film Threat just they do everything they can to, you know, help the filmmakers out. So I think it's great.
Well, congratulations and good luck to you tonight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So tell everybody what the film is that you're here representing, who you are, what the film is you're representing, and what it's about.
Well, my name's Danny Wolf. I'm the director of Skin, A History of Nudity in the Movies.
I'm Stephen Austin, the editor of same.
Nice.
And basically it's the definitive look at mainstream movies and the history of nudity from the 1880s to today.
Nice. What's something you learned about a film and this you know, making this film that you didn't know going into it?
I wasn't aware of this production code, which they called the Hays Code, and how Hollywood was basically restricted from showing nudity for decades until the MPA came in. And we interview people in those, you know, with those decades and through that era who explain in great detail how the production code or the Hays Code worked.
And when I learned about it, I also thought that the same era of the Hays Code was, to me, the most interesting part, but also because it wasn't enforced. It was there, but then very loosely enforced until some very rigid personnel came in, and then really started hammering. The whole industry would have changed and been different to this day, don't you think?
Yeah, really, I think it was a period between 1930 and 1934 where this code, production code, was basically supposed to be enforced but wasn't. So filmmakers were going crazy with nudity with major mainstream actors and actresses. And then in 1938, Joseph Breen came in and enforced this code. And the code enforced everything from trailers to dialogue to cartoons to everything about movies.
Married couples couldn't sleep in the same bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting evolution to where we are now, which is also very interesting, a time period in which we are now. Do you feel like now we're kind of almost devolving in some aspects with this idea?
Well, things have really changed, and we interview what they call an intimacy coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And now, because of the Me Too movement, which we also cover, how now there's intimacy coordinators on the sets of every movie to make sure that actors and actresses that the scenes are done respectfully, that they're done accurately, that they're being taken care of, that they're not being taken advantage of. And we go into that a little bit because people don't know about it. Also, the documentary is interesting. We interview a lot of major mainstream actors and actresses and just how nudity affected not only their personal lives but their careers.
Sure.
And everyone from Diane Franklin from Last American Virgin to Mariel Hemingway in Star 80 to Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell, my favorite. Right. No, he was one of the first male actors that decided that getting naked on camera was an okay thing if the part was okay.
Right.
And he had no problem with that at all.
Right.
Yeah.
We covered Caligula quite a bit.
Yeah, nice. So, what do you guys love about making indie film?
It's the freedom. It was kind of nice to be able to make it with investors' money, meaning we were making it the way we wanted to make it. It wasn't being made for a network who was coming in telling us what we should put in, what we shouldn't, giving us notes. We made it the way we wanted to, and we wanted to make something that wasn't exploitive or a breast fest. And we accomplished that. We made something fun,
informative,
exciting, and very educational. A lot of people have watched the documentary say they learned a lot. And that was sort of our objective, not to make something gratuitous, which you might think with a title like Skin, A History Nudity in the Movies, it might go that way, but we went absolutely the other way, and it's highbrow, and people have learned a lot from watching it, which is a nice compliment.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on all your success, and good luck tonight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I just got my stimulus check, and this guy wants me to pay for an Uber. Just saying, we're not going to make it to 7-Eleven by curfew. It's only a few miles away. We'll be fine.
Isn't he like the hottest? Oh, he makes me want to purr. Meowie.
Corona.
There's something.
You know, we've connected with something. We gotta keep going. We gotta talk to it.
I think I'm looking for a buddy for the apocalypse. Someone who could help me forget that the world might possibly be ending out there.
When the sun is going to stretch its arms on the world.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How you guys?
Good, thanks.
Tell everybody who you are and the film that you made.
My name is Max Aguar. And I'm Logan, and we made Veneer.
Nice. Tell everybody a little bit about the film. What's it about?
Go ahead. The movie is about a cocaine dealer in the COVID pandemic and how that has changed his way of life and way of making money, and how he overcomes that and learns a little bit about himself along the way.
Every business was affected differently during COVID, including that.
That's awesome. You know, having a category specifically for COVID films, like award show like this does, is that something that you guys take pleasure in, or?
Oh my God, yeah, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we thought it was great. We saw all the other nominees too, and I love that people tried to make stuff during this. Yeah, it's the creative spirit.
Was it hard at times to kind of do everything that you had to do to kind of make this thing happen?
Yeah, it was annoying. I mean, our last film had like 10 people in it, and just all in the same room at once. And this was like a lot of character study, and when there was another character in the scene, we'd have him in a mask most of the time, and a lot of drive-by acting, like calling friends, like, we're going to drive by your house today, we need you on your front steps, and to say this. So, I mean, just drive-by acting was a new one, I guess.
Yeah, just staying away from people.
What do you guys love about indie film?
I love how it can be whatever. Like, there are ideas that nobody would ever have if, you know, there was a bunch of big producers behind it. Because
you have to change stuff.
Yeah.
It's free for all. It's lovely.
Nice. Well, congratulations, guys, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks.
enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Woo!
Tell everybody the film that you're here representing and what it's about.
We're here representing Corona Zombies, which is the first feature made as the pandemic exploded. We shot the day of the lockdown here in Los Angeles. And
Barbie and Kendra save the Tiger King!
Well, that's true. Yeah, you girls are much more. You guys, you go over here. I'll go over here.
Well, what happened is we discovered this interesting. Come over here, Billy. Okay.
Come on in.
Sorry. Co-creator and writer. We discovered this kind of fun way of doing a bit of a "What's Up, Tiger Lily" on some old footage, and integrating it with the escapades of these two somewhat ditzy chicks. And we were able to shoot that material in one day.
Nice.
In Los Angeles, as the pandemic was raging. And it turned out, I think, really clever. So the first one was called Corona Zombie. And where's our Corona Zombie? He left, but he's the original. He's shy. And then Barbie and Kendra saved the Tiger King, and we got John Rinke, who was who was he exactly in Tiger King?
He was one of the helpers.
He was the one that
He
lost
ran the
his
zoo.
leg and the tigers, and like saved the tiger.
Something
King.
like that.
So we interviewed him.
That's kind of the log line.
In the movie.
Then we got Barbie and Kendra.
Storm Area 51. Yeah.
All fun, all ridiculous, but all cut with this wonderful old footage that we repurposed. Billy came up with some amazing dialogue. So yeah, it was fun and something we did literally by remote. Once we shot the material, it was all the computer and the Zoom and ADR, all online. The mix, the music, the whole thing. And then we released them on Full Moon Features. FullMoonFeatures.com, our streaming site.
Yeah. Check it out. So in doing something like this, where you're removed from the process, and you're doing with the Zooms and all that,
right.
What did you learn about filmmaking that you didn't have going into it?
That's so much nicer to be on set, not wear the fucking mask.
Have more than a day. Not have to revoice movies that were made in the 60s.
But that was fun.
basic.
And you get resourceful when you just need to keep making movies.
Yeah.
That's sort of like, you can't stop.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that work, considering we did it, other than those 3 one-days of shooting, we did it at Billy's house. I mean, this was like, crew of 7, plus Barbie and Kendra.
I mean, literally we had dinner the night before the lockdown happened. And we were like, let's do something that's interesting content, that's kind of has a Mystery Science Theater vibe to it. And literally the next day, they were like, you can't leave the house. Charlie was like, I think we had a great idea. I think we're going to be revoicing. So,
how funny, I was on the red carpet of CineQuest the night before, so I
Yeah.
know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, it's such a weird
And then,
feeling.
now things are opening up a bit. So this year, Full Moon Features again, we have shot one feature, more regular feature, not the one-day shoot, every month. So we're kind of going back to our roots. We did a Lovecraft piece, which turned out really well, and then a Gingerweed Man, and then Ted Nicolau, who did our subspecies shows and Vampire Journals and TerraVision, and he just finished a feature called Don't Let Her In. So we're sort of, but still, it's during COVID, so there's COVID compliance officer, and we wear masks, and the actresses and the actors wear masks, and they come off just before we shoot. So it's still cumbersome, but at least we're getting back.
Lip gloss problems.
Because you get all made up, and then makeup's touch up, every take.
But, we're gonna the year will end well, I think, and we'll be back.
And directing wrapped up like a beekeeper's outfit is always sort of.
Yes, of course.
It's getting better.
So what do you guys love about indie film then? Why do you keep doing it then if it's going through all this? I mean, what is the itch that you need to scratch?
Oh God, that's not about scratching itches, but.
Well, tell them how many movies you made.
Made a lot of movies,
300 and
something, 50, whatever. But it's there's a certain freedom in dreaming up, conjuring up an idea, and 60 days later shooting it, and 3 months later having it out, and to some degree controlling distribution. So we've done this over the years. Now the medium has changed. When I started, it was 35. We were the B-side of a double bill. It was all theatrical. Then it was direct-to-video, VHS, beta. Then it was DVD and all that kind of stuff. And we were distributed for years by Paramount. And that sort of ended because the video store died.
Yeah.
And then there was a few really difficult years, and now it's streaming. So luckily, we have a Full Moon Features app, fullmoonfeatures.com, and then we're on Amazon, so you can find the Full Moon channel. So luckily, all those movies and others are now, on the streaming side, and people who grew up at the video store and were, renting our movies now are finding us and going, oh my God, all these crazy movies that we grew up with and, freaked us out as a kid, they're all on Full Moon streaming. So
And the other good thing as a writer and a storyteller who's done tons of work for corporate entertainment, the one thing that's so great about independent film is that you only answer to a couple of people as opposed to 50 people. So you come up with an idea, and if they trust you enough, they really let you nurture it and grow it. And that's the one thing that's great about our library is that it's filled with amazing independent film that's fantasy
and one more note, luckily over the many decades, occasionally some of these films really have a life of their own. So we've made 11 Puppet Master movies over 31 years, and Trancers and 8 Evil Bong movies over 20 years, and Ginger Dead Man and Gingerweed Man and Trancers and Subspecies and Ghoulies going back to the early 80s.
Yeah.
So, the body of work is definitely bizarre.
Yeah.
Ask the hot chicks, because I think that's a good question.
Yeah, I was going to get there.
Well, it definitely offers more freedom, fun for sure because like if we had like so many ideas as filming this movie, and then Charlie's like, sure, just go ahead and play. I mean, but you don't get a lot of takes. It's like you gotta like nail it like every take, every time because you're gonna move on fast. But I'm certainly excited, about this. Obviously, this nomination is really fun. So exciting. It was really fun working with Cody.
Yeah, we got on set and everyone's like, oh my god, how long have you guys been best friends? Because we play best friends and we're like, we just met.
Yeah. It was like Insta friends. Yeah, exactly.
Also with indie films, like a lot of the like bigger stuff, there's a lot of egos involved. In indie films, it's like everyone leaves their ego at the door. It's just so fun. People just want to get creative and do passion projects, and then they take off, man. And that's how you get cult classics, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like the Evil
Presto
Bong
bingo,
series.
that's it.
I think we've made like 8 Evil Bong series, and Charlie's actually coming out with a box set with this. Am I allowed to say?
Yeah.
Okay, it has like a stash box, and it comes with the movies.
No, we've made those over 17 years, so they're all on Blu-ray now, which
Tommy
is cool.
Chong.
Tommy Chong was in the first. It's the only weed-centric series ever. So yeah, so always to do something different. It'll be available in a few weeks in this beautiful, heavy stash box. You'll open the box up. There'll be the 9 Blu-rays and then area for whatever your stash may be.
All right. Well, everybody look forward to that.
But it's just fun.
Congratulations,
and,
guys.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
Nice to meet you all.
Appreciate it.
I apologize, but my wife is
alive. I'm alive.
Fran's violation was not substance related.
She's the one who had sex with her student.
Carmen.
You're saying I'm hurting Justine,
No,
and
we
I'm not
never
hurting
said.
her.
Allison,
You're hurting
stop.
Show off a little bit. It's not a big deal.
Why do you put up with it?
I love her, and you don't give up, right?
No, you don't.
Am I not allowed to sleep here?
No, you can. Am I like keeping you up?
Oh no, I wasn't sleeping.
Do you want to like go hang out?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so tell everybody about the film you made and what you're here representing.
Sure, I'm Tom Putnam. I'm the writer and director of a movie called The Dark Divide, starring David Cross and Deborah Messing. We shot it out in the wilds of Oregon and Washington in 2019, and it came out last year.
It's an awesome film. Fantastic. I watched it.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
awesome. You're a multiple nominee tonight. That must be
I
exciting.
know, it is.
Yeah. Talk about putting something like this together. This is a daunting film, so talk about your experience and the journey you've been on with this film.
Sure, so it was about 10 years in the making. I optioned the book. It's based on a book and a true story by a nature author named Robert Michael Pyle. And I optioned that just about 10 years ago to the day, and I was like, what am I doing? It's a period piece outdoors in a place where the weather is terrible, about a quiet butterfly expert and poet. It has very little dialogue, and I kind of won the lottery. I mean, I came across some really wonderful producers, Joy Weitz, who did Napoleon Dynamite, and Aaron Boyd and Ryan Frost, who have a company called Public House, and I just believed in the project.
Nice.
And somehow, by hook or by crook, we got it made. So it took a tiny crew out into the mountains and the woods and shot it for 22 days. And it exists, and now we're nominated for a bunch of awards.
Yeah, and it's out there for people to go see.
Yeah, it's on all the usual places except Netflix.
Yeah. Well, if you're on Netflix, you're not on anything else. That's kind of how it goes, right? But tell everybody what you love about making indie film. Because I got to imagine this was just a harrowing experience all the way around.
It was hard. We shot in a lot of difficult, dangerous locations. You saw the movie. We shot in a lot of difficult, dangerous locations. It was every day was sort of like that scene from Apocalypse Now. And I mean, for me, independent film is the only place you can go to tell a story unfettered. And I was really lucky in that I got to make this crazy movie and kind of do whatever I wanted. And so hopefully that comes across in the film, where it's almost like a documentary.
Nice.
And that we got to just get into some pretty juicy subjects and go to some pretty crazy places with some fun people and
I will
tell a
say,
story.
you've never seen Deborah Messing like this before. This is just one of those things that she did that just shows you why she's a powerhouse.
People don't know it's Deborah Messing until they get to the end credits,
Right.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she plays Tia Pyle, who is a real person, and I'm not giving much away, but she's dying of cancer in the film. And the clothes she's wearing were Tia's actual clothes, and when she's wearing a wig, it was Tia's wig and her jewelry. And Deborah's mother died of cancer, so for her it was incredibly personal. Yeah, so it was sort of, I felt like a documentary filmmaker in the scenes with her and David, that I just like, they would do their thing and we would kind of drift around, and most of those scenes are in one take.
Be a fly on the wall of that.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I think it's going to be a good night for you, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And enjoy it. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, tell everybody who you are and what the film is that you made.
I'm T. Arthur Cottom. I'm the director of 1 Hour Out Call.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So tell everybody a little bit about this interesting concept for a film.
Oh, have you seen the film?
I have.
Oh, okay, all right. Which aspect would you like me to talk about?
just give everybody an overview, kind of an idea of what it's about.
Okay, so it's basically a film that it involves a man who sees a call girl once a week for a year, but he has ulterior motives.
Yes.
Yeah.
In doing a film like this, talk about the journey it took to produce something like this and put it together, and to have kind of like this time-lapsing idea behind it.
Yeah, it was a non-linear film, so in a way that was challenging, but that was an exciting challenge for me. I like puzzles, and so to me that was like a puzzle that I needed to put together. So yeah, so the process, it was shot on a micro budget in LA. Very small crew. There was basically a crew of 2 people. I shot the film as well, but it was a fun experience. It was very intimate, and we all got along really well. It was a great experience working with the actors. Everyone was very professional, even though it was a micro budget, and yeah, it was a good time.
What do you love about making indie films?
Oh, where do I start? That's such a meaty question.
Chew on it. Tell me.
Yeah, let's see. What do I love about making indie films? I just love making films in general. I mean, I've always been creative, and I've always wanted to tell stories and tell ideas and concepts and make people laugh, make people feel something. So indie film to me allows you the room to do that without, big money men or big studios kind of overseeing, which, I mean, that has its benefits as well.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of freedom in making independent films.
Nice. Well, keep doing it. You're
Thank you.
fantastic at it. And congratulations on your success, and good luck tonight.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Run! It's getting colder in here.
I know.
What's gonna happen when the food runs out?
Don't think like that. Keep your strength up. Takes a while to dig a grave.
They got my boy. I need your help, Percy.
I just want to make movies. I have what it takes. I will literally work every single day for the rest of my life. If one person just gives me an opportunity to make a movie.
Kamuli.
Hey, I don't see any cops around. Should I blow this next one? I'm Kurt. Hey guys. What's up, guys?
Somebody order Chinese food? Do me a favor. Take that shit to the back. I don't know who ordered that Chinese food, but your money is back there.
Thank you.
Hi, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. This has been a long journey for us.
Yes, it has. Thank you. We're chasing each other all over California now.
What's funny is I was just telling somebody the last time I've been on a red carpet, the last night was that last night at that Cinequest was open and they shut us down. Yeah. So it was completely crazy. We've spoken before in great detail about this film, but this journey is amazing. So talk about how it's been for you guys and where you guys are at right now with it, because everybody go check out our interview we did about when we were at Cinequest. But tell everybody about your journey so far and where you've been with it.
This young lady needs to talk about it because the story came from her to start with. She found me, brought me onto the project.
It's so many good things have happened during this year. There were times where we were going with the pandemic, we're like, oh, what's going to happen? But at this point, to keep it short, I'm really relieved and grateful and happy. I really am.
When are people going to be able to see this thing? Let's get this out there.
Ooh,
I don't know.
We're working on it.
We actually have found a home for the film, and looking like it's coming out very, very soon. Very soon. We're excited. Like it's all good news. The whole year of hustling and bustling during the pandemic has paid off, and a big thanks to you because you got us off and running.
It's good to see you again.
You too. Congratulations, guys. I've already asked you the question, which is what do you love about indie film? Has it changed since then, do you think?
Yes.
You guys...
Everything has changed. The film has changed. I've changed it a lot. We have a theatrical version coming out that's very different than what was on the film festival circuit. We're at the awards, which we didn't see this coming, but Lord knows we all needed to get out of the house. Yeah. So this is working out quite well for us. Yes. And like it's just been plotting our next move, staying attached to this, keeping the momentum going.
Nice. Are you guys working on something else in the meantime, or
yeah, we're working on another feature film. Him and I working on it together again, and I'm excited. It'll be my directorial debut.
Once he figures out that you've got the talent to shoot something, he's
like,
gonna hold on to you.
Going,
He's gonna gravitate to you as long as he possibly can. I know that for a fact as a filmmaker. That's the way that goes.
If it works, it works.
Congratulations, guys, on all your success. Congratulations. I'm cheering for you. I really am.
Thank you so much.
I don't care. I'm biased. I love this film. I love these guys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi. Welcome.
How are you?
Good. Tell everybody who you are, what the film is you're representing, and what is this about?
My name's Naomi Grossman. I'm representing 1BR, which is a psychological horror thriller movie about a young woman, not me. I'm the cult leader's wife. Let's just say she moves to Los Angeles into what looks to be a pretty innocuous building, only to find out it's actually run by a cult. It coincidentally happened. We came out on video on demand just as the pandemic was happening. So we were literally like all stuck inside our apartments watching this movie about a woman like basically being stuck in her 1BR. So it was pretty great timing. I mean, we got screwed out of, our red carpet premiere, but it all worked out.
Yeah, but you're here now.
We're here.
And you got nominated. That's a good thing. And brings attention to this great film.
For sure.
So talk a little bit about what you learned in doing this film and the process that you went through in creating the character that you created, and now you're here representing the film.
Oh gosh. What I learned, it's really, I think of this as a real like David and Goliath story because this movie had zero budget. I mean, not zero, but our producer who's over there literally mortgaged his already paid for a house to make this movie happen. And I have a lot of respect for that. I mean, maybe he's a fool actually, but the fact is they came up with a really great product. I mean, it was #1 on Netflix. We really milked it, but deservedly. It did really, really well, and he had a vision and put everything into it. Literally, like every penny in between his sofa cushions, he put toward it and made it happen, and it all paid off.
What do you love about doing indie film?
Well, not the money. No, but I think what I love about it is that everybody's doing it because they love it.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing it for the money. No one is. So, we're all really just actually want to work. We all want to be there. We all believe in the script. We all, no one's just taking the money and running because there isn't any.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on all your success and good luck tonight. And thank you so much for taking time to talk to me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, I hate our dives. Put it down, please. It's supposed to, I think. It's natural.
You're my best friend. And if you want to spend New Year's Eve running all over God's green earth, searching for your ex, then that's what I'll do too if it means I get to spend time with you.
We're dating.
Like how?
Who does what with who and what goes in?
John. Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to be more real going forward.
doing. There's a power that's really hard to describe at play here. You know, it happens when women refuse to compete with each other, and instead we listen.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Tell everybody who you are and what the film is you're here to represent.
Amazing. I'm here to represent 5 Women in the Inn, and I am Nicole Levence. Yes.
Nice. This is a great film.
Oh my God, it's so good. In the midst of what we just went through with COVID, the fact that we were like quarantined, like we couldn't have planned that at a better time.
Tell everybody a little bit about it so that people understand what we're talking about.
Oh my gosh, so 5 Women in the Inn is like this compelling dramedy about 5 friends who are trapped in this high-rise building because there was like a nuclear disaster that has happened. And so we're trapped in quarantine inside of this home, no power, no electricity, no running water, and we're having to like figure it out. So it's kind of like Lord of the Flies if the women did it.
Yeah. I'm curious. I have to ask this question. How method was this process? Was this incredibly daunting to pull off? Was there some stir craziness going on after a little bit?
I mean, you know what? Interestingly enough, there wasn't a bit of stir crazy because we actually stayed on set. So we made it like summer camp because we really wanted to feel like trapped in the space with the crew and the cast. And we became really like a family. It turned into summer camp more than it did than like, oh my God, I can't get rid of these people. Because the story behind it is it was a few friends who knew each other from college and we got together to do our first feature. And so we just had a blast because a lot of us hadn't seen each other and it was new people merging. So we just had a blast. We were kids again making a movie.
Nice. Well, I think you're going to win Best Dress. This is fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell everybody what you love about indie film.
Oh my God! Because you get to tell compelling stories with compelling people, right? When big business gets involved, there's so many like hoops and bells and whistles that you have to jump through. An independent film gives voice to the smaller person, right? Yeah. We get to tell these stories in a way that we want to without having to like pay the piper.
Nice. Awesome. Well, congratulations. This is a great film. I absolutely loved it. Congratulations. Good luck tonight and enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you.
You too. Tell everybody who you are, what film you're representing, and what it's about.
Okay, I'm Ruckus Sky.
And I'm Lane Sky, and our film is called The Devil to Pay.
And it's about a woman on a in the Appalachian Mountains who's trying to save her family from let's say the bad family on the mountain. has some plans for her that aren't necessarily.
Her husband goes missing, and it's up to her to figure out what happened.
Nice. What do you feel like was the major challenge in making a film like this that seems to be very authentic and take outside a lot? So.
Well, we shot it in the Appalachians in a small town, and a lot of that was just the challenges of being up in the mountains in the middle of nowhere, and the weather was crazy. Like, it snowed the day before we started shooting, and then it wasn't snowing, and then it was raining, then it wasn't.
And just getting crew around in that area was really difficult. We nicknamed the film The Reckoning because people kept wrecking their cars.
It's the same thing every indie film goes through.
So now you're here, you're nominated, you've been through this long journey. Talk about how rewarding that is for you right now.
Oh, it's fun, it's great, and the film's finally got released this year, and we shot it 3 years ago, so it's been a long time coming. And so it's really just nice to have it out in the world, and we've been fans of Film Corp for so long, and so this is just really nice.
And they've been so supportive of the film. It's been
very supportive.
It's been really great.
Awesome. Yeah. So what do you love about indie film?
Just you get to hear some unique voices and stories that studios just aren't making. I love studio films, but there's just little weird, crazy movies that will never get made, and otherwise, and it's the only way to do it. And it's usually people that just are desperate to tell a story and by any means necessary, and those are usually there's just a passion behind them, but it's exciting to see.
How about for you?
For sure, the passion, like he said. I think also the opportunity to just hear different stories, from different people that aren't typically, the gatekeepers don't always tell them yes.
Yeah.
Just getting the opportunity to hear different, diverse voices in any film.
Well, congratulations, guys, and good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much.
Oh, hey. Oscars, huh? Oscars can suck it! I don't even have a penis. Watch Award This on Sunday, April 18th at awardthis.com.
All right.
Alan, you're gonna write that.
Alan from Film Thread.
Hi.
Everybody.
Hi.
So
How
talk
do I
about. You look great, Alan. You always look great.
Oh, thanks.
Talk about putting something like this on. What did you enjoy about this process and being able to bring this to light?
Yeah.
Because this is a really incredible event.
Yeah, well, this is like our big event.
Yeah.
And, for me, I'm more on the filmmaker and the nominations.
Mhm.
So I've seen a majority of the films, and we're just here to really bring a spotlight, shine light on films that are just not going to get any attention from Hollywood or from award season.
Yeah.
And so this is why we're here, and this is what I love doing, and it's showing some love to independent filmmakers who are just trying to make a name for themselves.
Talk about some of the criteria that you had going into trying to put something like this together. And I mean, these categories are unique and interesting.
Yeah.
And talk about a little bit about what your mindset was in thinking about the films that
Yeah.
would be represented here.
Well, there's something universal about film in general, and that's story. And to me, that's the most important thing about any film. Whether you have hundreds of millions of dollars or no money at all to make a film, you have a story to tell. And now it becomes being able to tell a story with the resources you have, and so if you tell a good story, maybe some of the money you don't have, audiences are willing to forgive a lot of things in that case.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. What do you love about indie film?
Indie film, that's just it. It's the little guy taking on the big guy.
Yeah, right. Let's do it.
We're at an age now where anyone can make a movie,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people now who have stories to tell.
Yeah.
And now they have that chance to tell that story.
Are you tired of watching movies, to be honest with you?
No, there are days. There are days.
All right, well, thank you so
All right,
much for
thank
taking
you.
the time to talk to me.
This box has lists of everything I need to fix.
You want to make this your fault.
Who is this guy?
I want to show you something. You're saying this is real?
What's this? No shoes.
The carpet's really soft.
Has this been here the whole time?
The poof? I don't know. Probably.
Oh my god.
My body. It's deteriorating.
So tell everybody the film you're here representing and what it's about.
What's about? So we're here with Minor Premise. It's a low-budget sci-fi thriller about a neuroscientist who fractures his mind into 10 competing sections.
It's a great film. I've seen it. It's
Oh,
really
you've seen
good.
it? Oh, thanks, man.
It's very good.
Thanks,
Talk a little bit about the process in getting to this point. What was it that you guys really embraced and had, going through all this? Because this is a really thought-provoking film. It's got a lot of elements to it. So tell everybody a little bit about how you got to this point.
I mean, I had two really good co-writers on it, Thomas Torrey and Justin Moretto. Justin's a neuroscientist, so he brought all the sort of intense authenticity that takes place in terms of the neurophilosophy and the world that's being built. And, we made it in New York on a really low budget in just a couple of different locations. So the big focus was just trying to make the world as contained as possible, but building the scope of the philosophy behind it, the characters behind it from there.
You guys take a smart approach to science fiction, and the idea of science fiction in indie film, and being able to portray something that is, has the, look of a big budget, giant film.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And so in doing something like that, what was your thought process in? Was that something that you guys really honed in on? Was the idea that you were going to really make this seem like a big film, or was it more of just telling a story and that kind of fell into place for you a little bit?
I think it kind of grew from a lot of the films that we were inspired by.
Yeah.
I mean, like Denis Villeneuve's Enemy was a huge inspiration in terms of the aesthetic of the movie, and then it harkens to a lot of early Christopher Nolan films. And the thing about those movies is,
I was thinking this reminds me a lot of Pi.
In Aronofsky, it's like a huge Aronofsky film. Pi was a huge reference, Primer, all those sorts of films, and the one thing that they do really, really well is they don't let the budget constrain the ideas that you're exploring in them.
Right.
And then in terms of trying to make it feel bigger budget, I think because we were so contained in terms of the locations and in terms of the actors that we were working with, then we were able to really spend a lot of time meticulously shot listing everything, making sure everything was
That's the key, right?
orchestrated and super planned out.
That's the key, the pre-production aspect.
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
And like it comes down to like two things. Like the reason science fiction still like prevails after all these years is because it doesn't matter if you're like Aliens or you're like small movie. Like it's big ideas. Like your scale changes, right? But you're still kind of talking about big philosophical ideas within a framework that's kind of fantastical. And then in terms of like making things look bigger, like we're just so used to having nothing. Like we rub nickels together. Like we made a movie where, you know, it's a kid who's under 13 at the time was #1 on the call sheet every day. We never went in OT, and we like, you know, we just know how to do things.
Noah's my longtime producer. And he knows how to like throw together a really, really scrappy production.
Yeah.
We've
Just
kind of all
figure out
just
what you
came
need.
from that New York ethos of, you know, everyone's going to work for nothing, sleep on the floors if you have to at the location, so that all the money can go on screen.
Yeah, it's like we're there to make art, not eat lunch. That's what a key
Who
grip
says
of my
that?
John Blasey said that.
Oh, Blasey said that?
Yeah, I
That's
love
funny.
it. Yeah.
And it shows. It pays off in spades for you guys. This is a fantastic film. Tell everybody what you love about indie film.
Tell you what I don't love about no, I mean
well, that list is long too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about indie film is like you can like build a tribe of like-minded individuals and do things together, support each other,
That's
circle
what
the
I was gonna
wagons.
say, so.
Yeah,
It's the collaboration. It's finding your people and making something impactful with, you know, a small group of collaborators that you trust.
Nice. Well, congratulations, guys. Good luck tonight, and enjoy it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Cream magazine being based in Detroit gave it the grit.
If you live in the Midwest, it's not all laid back and peace and love and good vibes.
Bands that would never get out there in the past now have a chance to, but at the same time, there's a lot more competition.
Star Wars meets rock and roll. That was the essence of it.
Like if Kiss played inside the Star Wars cantina, that would be Halix.
It's got one foot in the past and it's got one foot in the future as well. And if you're somewhere in the middle, that's probably what I'd call synthwave.
My fans remember me for a certain way, so I don't want them crying and hurting and feeling sorry for me.
Frank embodied everything. You couldn't say, oh yeah, that's rock and roll, because it wasn't. It's jazz. No, it's pop music. No. Well, what the hell is it? It's Zappa.
What's your name?
My name's Joe.
Joe. Robert. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Frank, nice to meet you. Tell everybody about the film you're here representing and what it's about.
We're here for Risen, the story of Chron-Rizzah Smith. It's nominated for Best Music Documentary. It's about a Wu-Tang Clan affiliate member who had a brain aneurysm, and he lost the whole left side of his body, and he lost the ability to rap. And so it was several years of sort of rehabilitation in order for him to rap again and sort of feel confident with himself again. And so that's really what the film was about.
Interesting. Following somebody going through this journey, you know, as documentary filmmakers go, oftentimes when you're dealing with a subject matter this personal and direct, you know, injecting yourself into the film is not the idea that a documentary filmmaker wants to have. But you know, you're looking at filming all this guy's pain and this guy's journey. So talk about your level of comfort with that and trying to figure out how to do that and stay being the person documenting it and not the person being involved in it.
Right. Well, in the case of our film, actually, Chron-Rizzah, as he's known in rap, he and I go way back. I knew him before really everything. Like when he and I were early on in show business, I was the publicist for his group Sons of Man. So we knew each other when we were both just like kids getting into show business, and we didn't know anything about anything. And all these years later, when that stuff happened, we already had a friendship and a trust, so my take was just to be a fly on the wall and kind of just watch things happen or encourage things to happen, but not really get involved. A lot of documentarians, you know, they're like part of the film. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted him and the people in his life to kind of tell the story and just let his actions and his progress as he got better tell the story. So we just kind of held back, and Rob and I, had also worked with him right before the aneurysm. We were doing a podcast called Freestyle 101, and at that time we filmed him right before the aneurysm. So we felt especially attached to it because we were like, I had just reconnected with him. I'd known him 10 years. Rob and I went to New York, we filmed him, and then all of a sudden this crazy stuff happened to him, and we felt like compelled to get involved, you know?
And it's not the kind of film that we had to get involved with, but we love the dude and we could support him, and it wasn't hard to stay off of the camera, but it was hard to not be rooting for him and if he needed it, be his rock.
Nice. What did the guys from Wu-Tang add to this that helped you guys out with this film?
Well, RZA did some interviews with us and was really supportive along the way. He went on a bunch of radio stuff and kind of gave support to the film.
Nice.
You know, he signed RZA to his first record deal, which was actually to RZA's label at the time. Like right when Wu-Tang got signed, he formed his own indie label and signed a bunch of indie groups, and Sons of Man was the first one, and Hellraiser was the youngest member of the band. So RZA always felt very connected, like kind of family, like that's my boy, that's my kid. So he stayed involved, and then just a bunch of the guys did interviews with us, and all the guys from Sons of Man, and Killer Priest, Prodigal Son, 60-Second Assassin, and a lot of rappers, guys that have worked with him over the years, Aria the Rugged Man, Fred Rostar from Onyx, Crooked Eye. All these guys just wanted to talk because they loved him and they felt terrible about what happened, but also like inspired by his progress and his story,
Is it cool that there's a category specifically made for what you guys are doing with these films? Is it kind of neat to have that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, music documentaries are kind of their own thing,
right?
And so it makes sense, and we're honored to be nominated, and all the other movies are awesome, and we wish them all luck.
Nice.
I mean, the big thing is that I'm a huge Frank Zappa fan, so the fact that we're up against Frank Zappa is really rough for me because I'm normally pretty confident walking into anything, and this one I'm like, oh man, we're up against Frank Zappa of all people. Oh, he's just a genius,
But then your name is always going to be right there with it.
Yeah, plus it's Alex Winter.
Yeah, Alex Winter, Bill and Ted. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
All right, guys. Well, good luck to you. Congratulations, and thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to me.
Thanks, man. Awesome, man. Thank you.
I got computer vision software that was supposed to track my face. It didn't work until I put on this white mask.
I mean, he's successful because he gets reaction. It's like there's a need for that in society.
As Marcus Lowe, the famous showman and businessman, said, we don't sell tickets to movies, we sell tickets to theaters.
They're written, produced, marketed, and sold by women for women. So it's very hard for me to understand the argument that they are not feminist.
If you want to control the population of your country, there has never been a tool as effective as Facebook.
Who's the boss more often than not in a relationship?
Women.
The woman. Women. I have absolute say at the end, but I don't say anything.
So tell everybody what film you're here representing and what it's about.
Sure, I'm here representing the El Duce tapes. It's nominated in the indie documentary category. It's a documentary about notorious shock rock figure from the 1980s and 90s named El Duce. He's the lead singer of a band, The Mentors. I don't know if you've heard of The Mentors. They're sort of like...
I was a punk rock kid in the 80s.
Okay,
so, I know, yes.
So if you know them, this is like a... It's a little different from like a regular fan service kind of piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an immersive character study into all the warts and all, the man behind the mask of the Mentors.
You know, what's interesting about when you go into a film like this and you have an idea of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and then you get to like the edit or you get to a point when you're filming it, and it kind of evolves and changes on you a little bit. How did this film evolve during its process?
Oh boy, well it evolved a lot. It's a lot different from a regular documentary in a lot of ways because it's all archival footage. So we were only working with footage that was shot in 1990-91 and trying not to put our thumbprint on it too much. But right after we started putting this project together, the Me Too movement took off, which made a lot of the footage of El Duce, whose act is a lot of trolling related to misogyny, really hard to reckon with. And we tried to put it forward in a way where you can judge El Duce harshly and still enjoy an experience of this movie as a sort of character study thing. But it took a long time to sort of find the right balance where that felt right to us.
Nice. What do you guys love about indie film?
What I love about indie film, well, there's so much that I hate about non-indie film.
Nice.
So just to zag against all that zigs in the bigger budget world, it means so much to me. I mean, that's where movies that I really respond to and have a heartbeat seem to live, and that I give a shit about.
Yeah, nice. Congratulations on all your success, and good luck, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks so much.
Secretly running around, cramming objects, animals, and children up his ass. Then he somehow digests them, and he does this in sprees.
You like your room?
Yeah, it's fun having a roomie.
Especially a roomie you can't have sex with.
Yeah.
Next stop, Lighthouse Island.
Do we have a boat? It's pronounced pontoon. I'm not sure that's right.
The pair was described in one report as the Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker of porn.
We're here for the special. Trust me, it is not what you think.
We can't get out. Elevators don't work and the staircase is locked.
Screaming might not be the best idea. There are people hunting you.
Tell everybody what the film is you're here representing, and what it's about.
We're here with Lake Michigan Monster. It's about a drunk sea captain who has to destroy the monster that murdered his father. And it's a very serious production. It was made in 2017, probably, with a buddy of mine from Milwaukee and just friends and family all in that area. I'm the producer-editor, and it was a $7,000 movie, 70 minutes, very small, but it's had a very long festival run that we're very grateful for, and now it's on Arrow Video Blu-ray.
Nice, congratulations. Talk about the journey to get here, from the moment that you started the idea to now. How rewarding is it for you at this moment for this idea?
Well, it's been a really fulfilling little fest run, and it's an honor, of course, to get acknowledged by Film Threat. Film Threat acknowledged us really early on with a review after we'd only been in like 2 festivals.
Nice.
And that really helped get into more festivals and with distribution. And
Nice.
you know, when you're just a tiny $7,000 horror movie, you definitely would need, you know, curators and press and film festivals and people that, you know, help recommend you and get the ball rolling. So
Absolutely.
it's all thanks to them. I mean, finishing the movie was so long ago I don't even remember anything interesting about it. But the shoot was, I wasn't there for a lot of it. I'm the producer-editor.
Yeah.
So the footage would just come in.
Yeah.
And Rylan, my buddy from Milwaukee, he would not really tell me what the movie was about. So I would just get weird footage and just start cutting it. And so over time, it started to make sense what it was. And then we collaborated a lot on the ending, where we added a bunch of cheap effects. And probably did the whole thing in under 2 years. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, it was a pretty quick and small movie that has, for some reason, had a longer festival run.
That happens from time to time.
Yeah. It's
Yes. What do you love about indie film?
Well, I like that it's not the same repeated IP over and over.
Yeah.
Nothing against that stuff, against people who do professional, high-quality work. But, sometimes something's a little more shoddy and a little more personal. Can have a nice flavor or perspective you're not used to seeing.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch original IP, and with the technology now, it seems like you can tell a really crazy story, and if you know After Effects, you could still deliver. Not everything has to be 2 people in an apartment now.
Yeah.
You could really do some wild stuff on no money. Which is what we did. That's what we like to do.
Nice. Well, congratulations on all your success, and congratulations for your journey to get here, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So tell everybody about the film you're here representing and what it's about.
It's called Mope. It's a true story about a crime that happened in LA in 2010. Mm-hmm. It's about 2 guys who embark on a dark journey to make it as porn stars.
Nice.
And it doesn't go very well.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, that's what it's about.
So, I remember this film.
Yeah.
I
remember you from Sunday.
Yeah. We sat down and talked.
Of course.
Yeah. So, this has been a long journey for you
Yes.
guys.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit, and how much. I mean, you guys have major stars in
Yeah.
it. I mean, it's everything that you would think would gravitate toward an independent film marketplace.
Yeah.
So talk about your journey and what you learned in the process.
Well, I think the most challenging aspect was the content. The cut that was shown at Sundance was easily NC-17. So once we got a distributor, they wanted it to be an R. And so that took a while, like cutting it, and we finally realized that it's not going to get an R without butchering the film. So we went unrated. But all these, but that was the big thing I learned, just in terms of how much, when you're making an independent film, you have to think about TV. This film was made really without any consideration. It was I just did what I wanted to do. And now when you're like, wow, that's like, they can't show this. They can't show this on ABC.
What got it into Sundance is like making it toxic in the marketplace.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. And so then that's kind of what slowed it down getting released. But it was essentially, we could have released it maybe like a month after Sundance. It was just getting the right situation where we didn't have to like cut too much out.
Yeah, I remember talking to Taylor about it. He was very disappointed. They were very disappointed at not being able to get it out there as fast as they wanted to.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing film.
Thank you.
And it's based on a true story, which is even crazier to think about. So tell everybody a little bit about how you came across the material and brought it to life.
Sure. I read an LA Weekly article, a great article about it, and then I met the writer who worked on the film, named Michael Albo, and then I met all the real people. He linked me up with them, and I became close with the main character's dad. I became close with a lot of the people in the porn industry, I'm still friends with now, and they just let me into their world. And then, once I cast a lot of people from the industry too.
Yeah.
And that's what really, that's how it came together. It was really just the access and being able to see it, and really know that I was portraying it as accurately as possible.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you guys love about indie film?
I love this, the freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do, there's not, it's a plus and a minus, right? Like there's the freedom to do stuff and take risks, because that's always been my natural state. There's, most people, there's a lot of people who are very embracing of challenging, provocative movies.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but a lot. So that's what I love.
How about for you guys? What do you guys think?
Just the autonomy.
Yeah.
Being able to tell stories that aren't mandated by corporations, if that makes sense. Finding a true story like the one of Steve Driver and things like that.
Yeah.
The freedom of being able to tell the story that doesn't require so much CG or anything like that. Like, you can actually go make movies.
Did David's crazy journey as a wrestler help you guys at all in this film?
When we were doing press at Sundance, he was telling me about the doc, and he was like, I had a heart attack. I was like, what? I didn't know about any of this stuff. The doc is amazing.
It is.
I love it.
Phenomenal.
He's a great guy. Like I tell everyone, he was so supportive of the movie, and
he was very championing of it.
He's such a great guy. Like, I want to work with him soon. Like, he's a great guy. It's all nothing negative to say about him.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just talking about David and the scars.
Yeah.
That's real. Okay.
Yeah, he's lived a crazy, wild life. Yeah.
Well, congratulations,
Thank you very
guys.
much.
It's very cool to see you guys here and to see this film acknowledged, because I was looking for it all this time.
Yeah, sorry it took so long.
Look, it happens. It's the way the world works, right? Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for being so
Yeah,
supportive.
thanks for supporting it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys.
Absolutely.
Good night, everyone.
Lisa and I had an argument last night, and then to figure out who was right, we decided to do over the entire night.
Exactly the way it was.
So that's why we're here.
Give your brother a big squeeze for me, okay?
You're not gonna come in?
Lisa, I am so glad to finally meet you.
Yeah.
Your dad tells me all sorts of things about you. And of course I know all about you already, mister. I wash your sheets.
How long you been on the trail?
I don't know. I guess I've lost track.
Seems ill-advised to be hiking so long without a radio or rifle. What if you run into a bear?
7:30 a.m. breakfast, 8 a.m. departure.
Why would someone want to sabotage my business? Jesus!
We need weapons. We have a shovel.
You look good. Looking for a deep connection. Someone I can give myself to. Completely.
Hi, I'm Andy. Thanks for being here today. I've been waiting for this moment for what feels like forever. To friendship. We're gonna get to know each other. Talk about whatever you want.
I built something, and I used it on myself. My body, it's deteriorating. It hurts. It hurts so much.
The agenda here is not to learn how to be a great friend.
What is the agenda? Figure out who you are?
Figuring out who you are separate from other people.
I'm going to take care of you.
You can't take care of yourself.
That's true. I never thought about that.
Thank you to everybody for watching our red carpet coverage of the Film Threat Award Show 2021 awards. We're very grateful for having the opportunity to have been here. Thanks to Chris Gore and Film Threat for bringing us here and allowing us to be here. We really enjoyed it, and enjoy the show, everybody. But wait, we have one more award to give out. And now, the winner of best use of the YouTube outro to trigger the algorithm, Joe Compton of Go Indie Now. Wow. I'm shocked. I really am. I can't believe it. I was really, truly just honored to be nominated this year. I mean, I can't tell you the countless amount of outros I've done, intros too, and nobody ever sees them, so this is probably not an indication of anybody seeing this, but regardless, I'm very, very grateful to anybody who's stuck around this long to watch these and to have nominated me, and now, of course, to have awarded me the victory. I'm just so grateful, I really am. So maybe I should start there, thanking all the little people out there that make my big ego swell so large. Thank you so much for all that you do to compliment me and to tell me how great I am, because let's face it, I am pretty great. But I really do appreciate that. Something I don't appreciate, though, is the 405 freeway. You can suck it, 405 freeway. I do not miss that and that LA traffic. I can't believe it. The last 3.5 miles of my commute to get from home to my Airbnb, 30 miles took me 3.5 hours. You know, good old 405. I'd like to thank, well, really, I'd like to thank anybody who's really sticking around at this point. I mean, I don't know what the point is of you sticking around, but I do appreciate it. We really do appreciate everything that you do for us. Comment and let me know that you did stick around to the end. Here's the magic word. Hashtag, yep, I'm still here. Put that in the comments so that I know you watch this. That being said, I'll just leave you with this little nugget, this little bit of wisdom. It's always time to go indie now. Thank you, everybody.